Hello and welcome to another episode of Tech I Want. My name is Rafi,
I'm Daniel.
and today we're going to be reviewing or talking about the campaign of the JIRENO,
JIRENO?
JIRENO, JIRENO. I have no idea how to pronounce
Cube
that.
4.
Yeah, the
Cube
Cube-
4, that's easier.
Yeah, the Cube 4. Let's call it the JIRENO J Cube 4. The brightest 100% sealed portable projector. This is another one of those products which, at first glance, I think it's like super cool. The idea of it's awesome. A portable projector. Below the title and subtitle, it's a bunch of acronyms and tech words that I have no idea what it means. 1080p.
Full HD.
Oh, that's what the F stands for.
Yeah.
FHD and 4K. Is there a sub HD that's not full HD?
Just HD is
Yeah.
720p.
And full HD is 1080p.
Yeah.
I see.
Because I think when it started, I can remember this. When it started, HD was 1080p, but then they started also doing 720p, and
Right.
they called that HD as well. So it was which one's the real HD?
I see.
So they
So,
said full HD.
so by saying 1080p FHD, is that just being redundant?
Yes,
You're just
yes,
repeating what it is, like
And then the 4K
Apple like
decoding.
Apple,
The 4K decoding, that's a little bit of a cheating. Everything is 4K decoding pretty much.
Right.
Like you can plug a 4K thing into an HD monitor. It's still going to show you HD. It's not going to show you the 4K, but it decodes it into.
I see.
But it's not 4K. They've just used the 4K keyword, but it's still 1080p.
So wait, how does that work then? Oh, so it can downgrade. It can take
Yeah,
a
yeah,
4K
exactly,
video
exactly.
and go bring
Yeah,
it down
uh-huh.
into a 1080p FHD
There you
and
go.
4K and 4K decoding. That's confusing. Okay, so 4K decoding from 4K down to 1080p HD.
There you
What
go.
if it's 5K or 8K?
I think it'll decode that as well.
All right.
But they're like, nobody has 8K movies,
Yeah.
so we're not going to put that there.
All right.
They could have said 2K as well.
Enclosed optical machine, 500 ANSI Lumens, HDR 10 plus, and VIDU audio.
VIDU audio? Do you do audio?
Yeah,
No,
VIDU audio. Fully autofocus. Fully auto, not just partial autofocus.
Fully,
Yeah,
fully.
the whole thing gets focused. Let's take a look at the video.
Let's. Ooh, another one of these.
I always like it when they break it down. Optical machine.
Portable handle.
I do like that you can move it around. I love the concept of this.
Because essentially every projector, maybe not, but every projector I've used or my friends have had, we've always moved it around. It's not like
True.
this has been statically set up on the ceiling, projector screen and everything. It's something that we've had. We've moved
Yeah.
it around from this room to the next room, but they're not built to be moved around. It's this weird thing that you need to set up and make sure it's straight and flat. This has all those settings built in so that you can just pick it up. It doesn't matter if you want to set it sideways, set it slanted, it all self-adjusts and autofocus
Yeah.
to wherever you need it to.
Yeah, true. And it's got a beautiful little carrying strap handle.
Ooh, it's like they're in nature.
Look how close we are to the image. Can you see anything? No.
TV grade.
What is a TV grade chip? 60 automatic. Now they're just throwing stuff out there. They could, half of this, I can imagine that they just put up a bunch of acronyms and I just go, oh, cool. All right, it's got that too. TV grade stuff? Awesome.
6D, what was it? 6D perspective control?
60 audio, I think it was.
Sound by VIDU, we still don't know what that
TV
is.
grade chip. What is a TV? Anyway.
6D automatic
Keystone
keystone correction, which I guess that is the image. Can you
6
remember-
dimensions.
I don't know which dimensions they're working in, but yes.
The devil dimension. The hell,
Can you remember on the old CRT monitors, the computer monitors, you could change the yaw and stuff like that, so the top of the screen would come in?
Sure.
Why would you ever need to do that?
Who knows?
The monitor doesn't change size. The
Yeah.
monitor's always that standard size. I never played with that setting unless I wanted to screw with the guy next to me in IT while he's looking at the teacher. I'd change the settings on those things. But with a projector, I get it. Because if you move it up, all of a sudden the image is going to be slanted out, no?
Right.
So now it automatically adjusts those things.
Right. In case that you don't have it straight on with the screen. It's accounting for the projector itself being at an angle.
Yeah, yeah.
30,000 hours of lamp life. That's a lot of movies. Negligible noise? That is really vague to me. Negligible, I think it's just, what are they trying to say? That it's all relative? Some people's noise is someone else's music, you know, like.
As long as you turn up the volume on the TV, you won't hear it?
Perhaps. I think that's a really weird phrasing. And I'm actually glad they brought it up, but I'm disappointed that they don't go into detail, even throughout the campaign, because I do have a projector at home. And it's kind of an inexpensive one. I don't think it's so good, and it makes a boatload of noise. And I said bolt load of noise, but I meant boat load of noise. That it totally negates the whole point of watching a movie. You know, like I can't do it unless I have headphones on. And then it's the fans.
Which I guess this is fully sealed, so it doesn't have fans.
Fully sealed, and then the fact that the case is aluminum, it's a solid piece of metal, is that it's actually
it's a heat sink.
Yeah,
it gets hot. That's why it has a handle.
Probably.
So you can take movies with you on the go. Yeah. It's like a lantern. It's an old school lantern.
Kind of, yeah, right? Except it's projecting too.
Manuscript ideas born.
What? That doesn't make sense.
They stuck it in there, you know? Give us some more keywords.
Yeah. I think that was a scene from a film they just threw in there.
He's now watching a movie in his car?
Yeah. I think that was the Breakfast at Tiffany's.
But one thing that this video did have going for it was that it was sub 1 minute. They didn't try to stuff...
Which we like.
Yeah. They didn't try to stuff that thing down our throats.
Well, I think that they did, but they did it very compressed. It was a boatload of material that they just brought down and truncated.
It was definitely a thunderbolt load.
So onto the campaign itself.
Yeah.
They did receive how many?
Around $2 million, Hong Kong dollars.
Yeah, they received their goal. Actually, they don't even have a goal here, do they?
No, they already crossed their goal way back when this was their old goal. Now they're in demand.
I see. Okay, if you don't mind, let's keep moving down on this and see.
Over 1,000 backers, huh?
Wow. So there's quite a few people that have reviewed this, and one of the reviews that's actually posted on this page, if you don't mind going down there, he says a lot of glowing remarks. This guy looks like he gets into, it's this one here. He reviews a lot of tech, televisions, Fire Sticks, things like this, and he says it's a great product. He shows it in use, and I think what he shows is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It looks really bright. The sound quality is good. It's hard to tell because we're watching him watch it. You know, like it's a couple layers past actually being there in person, listening to the sound quality. So it sounds a little bit muffled and tinny. But he says that in person he enjoys the sound, but also recommends that you would use it with your own home stereo system.
But he's also in a very, very dark room, no?
He's got a setup. You can tell this guy watches a lot of projected TV because he's got the screen that slowly comes down from the top.
Curiosity Cafe.
Yeah.
If you want to watch that review, find a link in the description.
Yeah, and he does a good job of going through the product, opening it up, and then also doing a product showcase in use. One of the things that he doesn't mention, and I think that we should get to, is when I went through to some of the comments. Dan, do you mind going into the comments there? There was a couple people that said a few negative things. And the number one is David Hill. Can you find David Hill in here?
I don't know where
shoot, man. You know what? I think I was looking. So they have multiple campaigns. One of them is in demand, and the other, or Indiegogo. The other one is in Kickstarter. I think I was looking at the Kickstarter campaign. And if you find it, man, I would love to read it. Yeah, there you go. It's right in there. Anyway, while Dan's looking that up, what I'm going to say is that there's a lot of people who reference an article that was written by ZDNet about this product, who say that 500 ANSI lumens, it's maybe it's a little bit misrepresentational. It probably is not that bright. A lot of people were complaining that even though it's supposed to be extremely bright, it's actually not performing at that level. Something to keep in mind when you're thinking about this. A lot of people say just take that number with a grain of salt.
Yeah, because they do say 500, but I think on the ZDNet articles they were saying it's comparable to 100 or
200,
200.
yeah, something around there. Did you find it? So
This original one,
yeah,
David
no, he's
Hill?
got a couple. So okay, so David Hill actually brings up the first time. He says, after reading recent comments about concerning the ZDNet article, I have decided to cancel my pledge. Brightness is such a huge factor to take into consideration. I believe that creators should underspecify on features, then overachieve on delivery. Unfortunately, in this case, the opposite may be the case. And then that's also noted by Belal Ali. He kind of echoes what it is that David was saying. And then I want to go up, and I think that maybe David was having an angry moment after that was posted. He had a more recent one, and I'm sorry, this might be a while, but I just want to read this because it's just kind of nuts. Quote, after a few KS disappointments, I hope this rings true. What does JIRENO mean? Above all, people with this name place their trust into logical thinking. They are conscientious, diligent, dependable, and real action takers. Their great love for details usually results in coworkers estimating them very highly. Praising yourself is, however, not something you would ever do. Also in love life, they have an inclination to keep control, while they themselves do not want to be restricted. And then it repeats with some more stuff.
Do you think David Hill was
I think he's a robot. I think
Yeah.
he's just some kind of
mad robot?
yeah. I think he's just some robot that went glitched and went crazy and just wrote a bunch of phrases that he's taken from the internet, and like
Well,
pieced
here
it
we have
together.
one of the collaborators of the campaign is Neo Fisher. Neo,
Yeah.
Matrix coming out. Maybe this is like a program that glitched out, was in love, Also in love life, they have an inclination to keep control. Neo's trying to control David, and David just snapped, Don't control me,
Dude,
Neo.
later on the David Hill, that same comment, because success and endurance are two words that describe you the best. It's like reading a fortune cookie all of a sudden. It's really strange. Setting yourself goals and giving everything you have to achieve them is a normal occurrence. Striving towards material success gives you a feeling of not being ordinary. Not a person who would ever give up on anything. For you to enjoy life more, try to sometimes take it less serious. It's something I guess maybe I should words for myself to think about. People close to you can always count on your reliability. You are a responsible person who emits security.
Well, he wants to kind of like reemphasize, you're not a bad guy, Neo Fisher, Jireno.
Why is he talking? He's not talking to Neo Fisher, is
I
he?
don't know. Well, I'm playing into the scenario
Oh, okay,
of
yeah.
David actually snapping at Neo or
Dude, I think this is a weird bot that went nuts. It's just some kind of algorithm that just found a bunch of random words online and just strung them together and made a comment
but then also backed the campaign.
and then canceled it.
Yeah. He realized his mistake.
Yeah.
FYI, posted as sounds like an earlier comment, not exact spelling. That was his conclusion.
What? I don't get this guy. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back to the product.
Oh, but he repledged. That's what I'm talking about, man. This is a lover's
Spout?
spout.
Yeah. Fight?
Yeah. Lover's spout.
Feud?
Because he came back and he's like, hello, Neo. Again, hello, Neo. Thanks for the reply and clarification of the review unit being a prototype. I have repledged for the Christmas special.
With only hours to go to end the campaign, fingers crossed for any further clarification on ANSI brightness, spec, and image examples. And then does Neo reply by saying, hi, Chad? Does Neo reply to David Hill by saying, hi, Chad?
Oh my God. This is such a strange...
Weird. I don't think any of this... I don't think any of this is real.
Any of this?
Anything that's going on, it's in someone's... We're just accessing someone's wet dream of a campaign. We have no idea what's going on.
But if it were real, what would be the things you'd focus on in this campaign?
Okay, so going back to it, I think it's the idea of a portable projector is really cool, and I like that they have the handle. It's fully enclosed. That also means that no dust and things get in there. My first thought is that thinking about camping, hiking. Sometimes when we go camping, car camping, we like to take some niceties with us, like a chair, like a blow up couch or something like that, or in the hammock and blankets and popcorn and all these kind of things, and have a nice. We watch movies sometimes while camping. I don't know if that sounds really lame or not.
No, that's pretty cool. What would you project onto though?
A tree? No, I don't know. That's a good question. Probably the side of the car. Or you'd have to bring your own projector screen, which this thing does have at the higher value. You can get a tripod with this, and as well as a 84-inch portable screen that comes with it
Nice.
for the $254 package.
I was looking at 85-inch screens, TV screens, the other day
Really?
for our new house.
It's really expensive.
Really expensive.
Yeah.
$3,000 compared to this. This is what, $200? 200 and something, 200 and change.
Yeah.
Yeah, insane.
But one of the things I wanted to go on with that is that even though it's portable, you have to plug it in. So it doesn't have any battery power in there or anything. You can't just charge it up and then go. It's got to be always plugged in.
But it did have its own onboard memory, no?
Yeah.
So you could add movies to it.
Yeah.
And as long as you have a battery source or you can plug it into your car or something, you have your movies ready to go.
Totally.
It's powered
12
by
gigabytes of storage on there.
Nice. It's powered by Android, so it has a little UI. It's kind of that bad, poor, old Android UI, I think. There were a few complaints about that.
Yeah.
But it will get you running, and I don't think that's the regular use for projectors. Normally you plug it into your laptop, no? You've got your movies on your laptop.
Sure.
Isn't that how
Or
you use it?
computer, or you've got some other thing that has your stuff stored in. This is just the device to just project it, right? But then also had Kodi built in. And I know that you have some experience with Kodi. I mean, is that kind of one of those things that you think would add value to a project like this?
I think it's the free version of Netflix and all of these other studios.
Right.
You know? So it is. It's a very good library. It's a very good interface to choose your movies and stuff like that. I'm happy with it on my free little movie box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it adds value. They built it in. You don't need to do it yourself.
Going back to some of the other features, solid aluminum case, and that's good for heat distribution. And when we're comparing the costs of other projectors, this thing is right about in line with the cost of another projector, but made from higher quality materials. One of the things that was a complaint, though, is that because everything is closed, there wasn't a lens cap on the actual lens. So when you're moving it around, they said that there were times when the fingers or hands would touch the screen, and then you have to clean that. So it's just one of those little annoyances that they didn't think about by not including a lens cap.
Do they have a case?
You know, I didn't see anything about a case. If you don't mind going up there a little bit. So just comparing with the other projectors out there, it's all, and just a little bit.
It's all gibberish, huh?
Well, it's all about roughly the same cost. In fact, actually, compared to some of the others, like the Woo Blue or the XGME, those are way more expensive.
Yeah, $670 for what seems to be about the same thing, no?
Yeah.
Same size screen.
And this one, so the JIRENO CUBE4 again says 500 ANSI. When compared to those other ones on the same chart, those are all coming down at 100, 200, 300 at most. But realistically, a lot of people are saying that the CUBE4 is also at that same level.
And then remember we were talking about the auto adjusting of the image size and the autofocus. I was reading that there are quite a few problems with that as well. So people set it up, and I mean the idea I think is brilliant, because normally you'd have to set those by yourself, and so every time you move the projector around, you need to work it out. Is it in focus? Guys, check it out. Is it in focus? Is it in focus? You know, and there's that whole.
And inevitably, I look back to talk to everyone, and there's this bright light that shines in my eye, and I'm blinded for like 30 seconds.
Here, it does it for you. I think that's genius. But apparently, they haven't really worked out the kinks yet. And you know how camera focus breathes every now and again, like when you're autofocusing something and it searches for the depth? You know, I think that's the same system they're using. And so apparently, when it's set on the table, you don't touch it. You don't do anything. Every like 20 minutes, it might refocus itself.
Oh, interesting.
So you're watching a movie, everyone's serious, they're at a funeral, all of a sudden it starts refocusing and you can't quite see what they're looking at.
Yeah, that's a weird thing, but at the same time, I think it's a small little thing for the technology. I think the technology is really cool. And in fact, in the YouTube review, the guy shows it going into autofocus. It looks fantastic. It took a couple seconds, but you could actually watch it go from blurry to in focus, which I thought was really cool.
And I guess that's a software kink that they can work out. You know, if it hasn't been moved, just don't autofocus.
I wonder if there are going to be updates.
I
don't know if they say anything about that. The other thing, though, is that the keystone correction, and I think that's what we were touching on earlier about how you can change the pitch or whatever, however we're going to say that, where you can have it, it's kind of at an angle and you want to make sure that it's completely square.
I don't know what it's called, but let's just go with what they're calling it. Keystone correction.
Keystone
6D.
Correction. 6Ds. They say that it's good. A lot of people say that it takes a little bit, it has a few kinks, just like Danny was saying with the autofocus. But overall, it does pretty good. Most people will find that they'll just do it manually anyway, just to fix it. But the idea that it's there just for simplicity, in case you didn't want to go into that, it does have that capability.
The sound, they're pretty happy with the sound. People have reviewed it. It's better than like computer speakers, but it's still not full-on TV speakers, you know? So if you want higher quality.
Totally, right.
And you mentioned the fully sealed design stops dust getting inside.
Yeah.
Now you have a projector. How big is, and like we live in a dusty environment.
There's
How big is dust? Yeah?
Yeah, there's a lot of
like
dust.
I couldn't imagine that being a problem.
No, there's a lot of dust. And I think that part of it has to do with like, what's it called? Static. I think there's a lot of static, and then it just attracts all that dust, and there's just a bunch of
Do you
fur.
clean it? Do you have to clean it?
No, come on, man.
Well, you don't clean it,
I
but
don't
would
clean it. No one
would a
does.
regular person clean it?
I don't know. My buddy worked at a light bulb company once.
Yeah.
And he talked about that. These light bulbs for really good projectors are very expensive.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, let's
Wrap
up. We
here
talked
you
a lot
go.
about
That's
these.
it. Is that what your movies look like when you're watching them?
Not that bad. Looks like someone took a poop on there, like a running flyby. So at the end of the day, I think this is a pretty cool product. I like it for what it is. It's at a decent price point, coming in at just over $200. That it could be fun to take along with me while camping or just for recreational use. To get anything really serious, I think I would have to pay more. I don't think it's there yet.
Yeah, it's a good cheap projector. For $200, I think you're getting it's a steal.
Yeah.
I'd recommend though building on your thing of the hiking projector.
Right.
I think that'd be a really cool add-on to have kind of like a base, a wide base that you can stand it on that has a battery built into it. So you can watch like 4 hours worth of movies or something on the go.
Yeah.
And it's like a little add-on. They can upsell people on it.
I love that idea. Or you know what I really want? I just want one of those power systems, the portable ones, portable power systems. So let's do a review on one of those. Actually, I think there's quite a few that are on Kickstarter and or Indiegogo. So in the coming weeks, look for that. I think we're gonna do one on those because I'm really looking forward to something like that.
Okay, I'm happy to dive into that with you.
Cool. So yeah, that was the JIRENO CUBE4. Let us know what you guys think, if it's a product that you're looking for, and if you agree with some of the negative comments that were made, or if you have one of your own.
Yeah, and until next time, this was Tech I Want. I'm Dan.
And I'm Rafi.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.